Have you ever felt like giving up? Like the weight of the world is pushing you to the edge, and you're not sure how much longer you can hold on? Maybe you're questioning why things are happening the way they are, why you've prayed, you've hoped, and yet nothing seems to change. But what if I told you that in the very moment you feel like jumping, God is whispering something powerful to you? If I were you, I wouldn't jump. What does that mean? Why would God tell you to hold on when everything in you wants to let go? Today, we're diving into a message that could change the way you see your struggles, your doubts, and your future. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear might be exactly what you've been waiting for. God's timing is perfect, even when it doesn't align with our expectations. You might feel that you've been waiting for far too long, that your prayers have gone unanswered. But God does not work on human schedules. His ways are higher, and His wisdom surpasses our own. What seems like a delay is often preparation. God is orchestrating things you cannot yet see, positioning you for something greater than you could ever imagine. The story of Joseph is a testament to this. Betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, and imprisoned for a crime he didn't commit, Joseph had every reason to believe that his dreams of greatness were crushed. But in God's timing, Joseph rose to power, saving an entire nation from famine. What appeared as setbacks were, in fact, the steps God used to elevate him. In the same way, God is working in your life, even in the moments that seem like failures or dead ends. Trust that His plan is unfolding exactly as it should. There are times when the weight of your struggles might make you feel like giving up. It might seem easier to abandon your faith, to jump away from the promises of God because they haven't materialized yet. But if God were to speak to you directly today, He'd say, "Don't jump." If I were you, I wouldn't jump. Why? Because He sees what you cannot. He knows the breakthrough that's just around the corner. The enemy thrives on fear, discouragement, and doubt. He whispers lies to convince you that there's no way out, that God has abandoned you. But remember, God has not brought you this far to leave you. Instead of jumping, stand firm. Hold on to His promises, even when they seem distant. God's faithfulness is not determined by your circumstances. The storms of life may rage, but your anchor in Him will hold. He is the God who makes a way where there seems to be no way. God's power is made perfect in weakness. In those moments when you feel you can't go on, when your strength is drained, God steps in. He carries you when you can no longer carry yourself. The Apostle Paul wrote that he delighted in his weaknesses, because when he was weak, God's strength shone through him even more brightly. You don't have to be strong on your own. It's okay to admit your need for God, to cry out for His help. He is near to the brokenhearted, and He promises never to leave you nor forsake you. In your weakness, He is strong. Every trial has an end point. Every season of suffering comes to a close. Even when you cannot see the finish line, trust that God is leading you toward it. You are not abandoned, and this is not the end of your story. God specializes in new beginnings. He turns ashes into beauty, mourning into joy, and despair into hope. Your darkest valley is no match for His light. Whatever you are facing right now is not the end. It is the threshold to a new chapter, one filled with His peace, His abundance, and His grace. So today, make the choice to trust. Trust in the God who never fails, who never gives up, who never turns His back on His children. When everything else falls apart, He remains your rock, your refuge, your guide. Do not jump. Hold on to His promises. The God who brought water from the rock, who parted the sea, and who raised Christ from the dead is the same God who walks with you today. He has not forgotten you, and He never will. Never forget this message: God's plan for your life is good. It is filled with hope and a future, even if the path looks unclear at this moment. You are not alone. God sees you, He knows your heart, and He is at work in ways you cannot yet understand. Trust in Him. Don't give up. Don't jump. God's promises are true, and He will carry you through to the other side, where peace and victory await. As you go forward from today, remember this: God hasn't forgotten you. Even when life feels overwhelming and the answers seem distant, His plan is unfolding in ways you may not yet see. Don't give up. Don't jump. God is with you in every step, shaping your story, preparing you for something greater. Trust His timing, His wisdom, and His promises, because He is faithful. The victory He has planned for your life is already in motion, and it's worth the wait. If this message touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe, give this video a like, and share it with someone who might need to hear it. Together, let's continue walking in faith, trusting that God is leading us toward His peace, His purpose, and His promises.